Hey everybody, it's Dispeller, and it's day 8 of How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 days, a day by day guide to saying goodbye and getting on with your life. So we are on day 8, perspective. This ought to be a good one. I like things about perspective because sometimes we have the wrong perspective on things. All right, missing time. As always, I will read this book, this chapter, whatever, this day worth of chapters, and you guys can comment all along if you want, or we can talk about it after I'm done reading. But this is day 8 in the book. How amazing! You've already come through your first week on your own, and you've already had some good moments as well as bad. But hopeful signs don't mean you're going to suddenly stop missing your ex. Perhaps you'll even be tempted to toss this book aside, pick up the phone, and call to see if you can go running back to your old familiar pains instead of dealing with this new loneliness. But if you know that the relationship is over, those impulses will dissipate. By now, you're beginning to see your ex from a different perspective. Missing someone can make you forget why you parted. Go back, and in a very short time, you may well say, "Oh, yeah, that's why I left." You may well recall some of the happy moments you spent together, but you're also likely to remember the price you paid for those good times. The following exercise will help relieve your fleeting pains of loss and any impulse you might have to accommodate your ex for the sake of a reconciliation, even at an exorbitant price. Think of what you miss the most about your ex. Now compare that with the answer to this question. Were you addicted to someone who failed to give you what you needed? Then think about the price you had to pay. Think about the few pleasantries you accepted in exchange for being made to feel bad or doubtful about yourself. The next time you miss your former friend or when you're feeling tired or sad, turn to this page and say, "Hi, Evelyn." Don't turn to the page and say, "Hi, Evelyn." Turn to the page and say, "Yes, I miss my ex because of the sweet little things, but I also remember the price I paid. And that price was and always will be too high." Facing such temptations can be more painful than your initial sense of loss. The temptation makes it hard to stand tall, but the more you stand your rightful ground, the happier you'll eventually be. We'll talk in just a minute, Evelyn. You don't need to be anybody's victim if you choose not to be, but someone who knows how to push your buttons can still manipulate the wounds from your recent parting. Missing your former lover hurts, or friend, but a personal commitment to move through it with dignity and honor can eventually leave you with more pride and serenity than you've ever known. Then we get to these little dark pages where I read those too. So, happy meals. Who needs diets? For some, ending a relationship can be the most effortless weight loss program you ever asked for or never asked for. Dramatic loss of weight is a common result of the stresses brought on by the end of a core relationship. Loss of appetite, being awake and burning calories for more sleepless hours per day, and dietary changes are the usual causes. If these changes aren't remedied, they can amplify a slide into depression or even more severe life threatening medical conditions. Loss of a lover or a friend can cause others to gain weight. Just remember that food won't fill up that empty feeling inside. It may only build a wall of flesh that will help keep no new people at a greater distance. Advice for the overweight is everywhere. Take it if you need it. No matter what, you need to protect yourself from the impact of stress. You can defend yourself with good nutrition. Here are some pointers for restorative eating. Oh, they're going to teach us how to eat properly now. I like these kind of chapters. Be of good cheer, you chocoholics. The rumors are true. Chocolate can actually help improve your mood. First, cocoa contains a natural chemical, anandamide, that stimulates the same area in the brain that marijuana does. Don't worry, though. One expert calculates that if you weigh 130 pounds, you'll have to gobble up 25 pounds of chocolate to get a buzz. Second, chocolate helps your brain make opioids, opium like chemicals that dull pain and produce a slightly euphoric feeling. Third, chocolate also contains a chemical related to amphetamines, phenylethylamine, that has been called the love drug. It also helps to lower blood pressure, speed up your pulse, and make sugar levels rise. Caffeine in chocolate may also increase your alertness. But again, don't worry. Another expert says you'd have to eat more than 12 Hershey bars to get a caffeine kick equal to a single cup of coffee. But hold off on buying yourself a box of your favorite chocolate candies. Chocolate is best consumed as a sugar-free Mexican-style mole sauce served over chicken, or in a glass of lightly sweetened cocoa before bedtime. The warm milk should help you get to sleep naturally. We should try that. Warm milk with cocoa powder, like a hot chocolate. That sounds yummy. We'll do that tonight. Carbs and vitamins you need. Your brain needs a chemical called serotonin to properly regulate your mood. When your body whips up a good batch of serotonin, you feel good. And if you go without it for very long, you may feel depressed. How can you be sure your body can make enough of this happy stuff? Get 40% to 60% of your calories from such complex carbohydrates as fruits and vegetables, dairy products, beans, grains, and cereals. Well, we did that tonight. That's probably why I feel good. And avoid the insulin roller coaster and abrupt energy and mood swings, which eating sugars, even fruit sugar, fructose in juices or soft drinks can cause. For our part, we like to avoid the toxicity of artificial sweeteners too. Once you lose your sweet tooth, you may even find your thinking becoming clearer as your too common systemic yeast infection, candidiasis, dies off. You want to avoid dietary deficiencies that have been linked to conditions of depression. That means you should take dietary supplements that contain B-complex vitamins, particularly folic acid, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and B6. We encourage you to also take 2,000 milligrams of the amino acid 1-tyrosine in the morning. You can find it in most health food stores. If you really want to play it safe, ask your doctor to prescribe a tryptophan supplement such as Optimax and take 2,000 milligrams at bedtime, or have 3 ounces of turkey breast every night before retiring. I need to offer a disclaimer right here. I am not a doctor. This is not my doctor advice. This is a book right here, this book right here. And you need to consult with your physician before using any type of medicine or supplement in your diet. I'm not recommending or suggesting in any way, shape, or form, nor prescribing any of these vitamins, just so y'all know. All right. Avoid caffeine drinks past noon. You need to rest. Try not to drink more than 1 cup of high-test coffee per day. As for alcohol, limit yourself to no more than 1 drink per day, preferably taken at least 4 hours before bedtime. It's too easy to begin to use the stuff as a crutch. Why risk it? And if you are inclined to feel depressed, avoid any use of alcohol. Okay, Americans are currently oversold on the idea that all the fat in the diet is bad. Granted, excess dietary or body fat can cause heart disease and some forms of cancer. But more often than not, if you're overweight, it's because you eat too many simple carbohydrates and the wrong kinds of fat. Believe it or not, some kinds of dietary fat are essential. You need to eat them or die, or at least run serious risks to your mental health. After all, your brain is mostly fatty tissue. To stay in a good mood, you must eat enough of the right kinds of fat. That includes omega-3 fatty acids from plants, nuts, and seeds. And eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, from oils found in seafood. If you can't stand fish, get some EPA tablets from a health food store and take a couple gel caps every day. Again, not me recommending it. It's in the book. Okay. Check with your doctor before taking any supplements. Okay, nature's pharmacopoeia, however you say that. If you think you're getting seriously depressed, see your doctor for prescription medication. Short of such serious solution, consider the use of dietary supplements and herbs to buoy up your spirits. Also, avocado helps a lot if you are depressed or just kind of feeling in a slump. Just take like about a half an avocado. Delicious and nutritious, and also will wake you up and make you feel perky. Okay. At least it does for most people. If you think you're getting seriously depressed, I already read that. 1 herb, St. John's wort. Be careful when you take this. I took that and messed me up bad. St. John's wort has received considerable media attention as of late. It is said to have antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal effects, and that drinking 2 or 3 cups a day of its tea can cure some cases of depression and chronic fatigue syndrome within a month. It contains a chemical known as SAMe, short for S-adenosylmethionine. I don't know how to say that. SAMe is a chemical your body produces from an amino acid. Methionine is believed to boost the happy brain chemical serotonin. Taking 1,600 milligrams of this food supplement a day produced positive results in 61% of depressed people in 3-week study in Europe. That was slightly better than the 59% of those whose depressed condition improved thanks to taking tofranil, a prescription antidepressant. However, extended use may cause kidney and bladder damage and high levels of sun sensitivity. Check with your doctor if you're using any prescription medications. St. John's wort can cause nasty reactions with narcotics, diet pills, asthma medications, decongestants, and amphetamines. And another thing about St. John's wort and L-tyrosine, I think it is, or L-tryptophan actually, if you are bipolar, do not take those because they cause you to be more depressed instead of getting rid of the depression. Trust me, I know firsthand. Other antidepressant herbs include pleasant tasting lemon balm, which can be also used as a sedative. Licorice and common sage, Salvia officinalis, are also believed to have antidepressant effects. Teas made with sage can help quickly restore emotional balance in the face of panic or stress reactions. Isn't it wonderful that nature provides all these ways to ease the pain of a loss like yours? So there you go. It's all about perspective. So when you start missing your ex, just start thinking of all the things that you think they supplied you with, but then ask yourself, what was the price you had to pay to have those things? You know, hanging out with somebody that boosts your ego or encourages you or sings your praises or whatever is great if you don't have to put up with being two-timed behind your back or backstabbed or whatever. You know, what is the price you paid? Is it worth it really to even think that you want to go back to that stuff? I know it's not for me. Anywho, Evelyn, thanks for coming in. I see you're the only one that came in other than one other person that popped in, popped out. Probably a spy. That's what I think. The FBI spies are spying on my room because it's like an all-important threat to the government and all of life as we know it. I'm just playing. Anyway, so Evelyn, is there anything I can do for you tonight in here? Or do you want to chat privately? You can call me or we can text or whatever. I'm here for you, girl, if you need a shoulder or a friend or whatever. Let me know. Hello, second person. All right. I don't know. I don't have anything else to share. I just wanted to share that chapter because I finally found my book. It was in the cat room in a basket because we had moved everything around to move the living room to the bedroom and the bedroom to the living room. So it was all sitting in a basket with a bunch of notebooks and stuff. And I found it tonight because I thought, where's the one place I did not check yet? And so I made my way back there, and sure enough, there was my book. And I thought, I better go on and do my chapter. I could technically do another chapter too, but I don't know. Let me keep it kind of even here. This is trust. Trust is the next chapter. Let's see how long it is. And maybe we will do another one because it's early yet. It's only 7:00. So yeah, I'll do this one too. Trust. I will put on the title that it's these two chapters. This is your day to explore the issues of trust. We'll review the degree of mistrust that you feel for your ex, and let's consider how you can rediscover sufficient trust to maintain other healthy relationships. Let's start this inquiry by recognizing an ugly truth. Often the real causes of mistrust reflect back on ourselves. If you were never willing to trust your ex completely, why were you surprised when your ex proved to be untrustworthy? Said another way, people you trust will sometimes prove worthy of that trust, but people whose motives you suspect will almost always prove worthy of your mistrust. It's kind of like if you get that gut feeling that something's not, legit, it probably isn't. In short, due caution is healthy, but unwarranted wariness is a guaranteed relationship killer. You miss the love you once had, the comfort you once enjoyed. But isn't it possible that you miss what never was? Oh, I remember this when Becky and I split from our ministry relationship, our partnership. And that's what I had to come face to face with was there was no ministry. There was no established connections with higher up ministers that she was going to introduce me to. And, we were going to be partnering together and going around the world telling people about our Savior and whatever. There was none of that. It was all a big illusion. It was a smokescreen. It was a fairy tale. It didn't exist. It was only in their minds. So, yeah, it was hard when I finally realized that was a relationship that really was not real. It was just a facsimile of somebody's idea. Okay, once your trust and faithfulness was truly breached, there may not have been a real relationship, but it's easy to get confused as to who really broke faith with whom. It's almost like asking who stopped loving whom first. Trust doesn't just mean loyalty. It can imply sustainability, reliability, and decency. Mistrust is born when a shared understanding, whether spoken, written, or just assumed like common courtesy, is violated. Acts like temper tantrums, holding the relationship hostage, sudden cancellation of expected emotional expressions can all do the deed. Unwillingness to trust another seem to be at the root of contemporary relationship breakups and breakdowns, as often as are the more commonly told tales of betrayal. We live in an age of suspicion, of love held hostage to failed hopes. Too often it's a case of guilty before proven innocent. People say that they want to have a loving covenant, but let their relationships fail from having no real foundation or of positive intention. It was simpler when being unfaithful meant only that one's lover or friend went out and had secret dalliance with someone else. And friends do this too, not just lovers, by the way. Friends can two-time you by hooking up with other friends that you might not like. I've had that happen too. The term unfaithful in today's relationships seems to mean exactly what it says, no faith. No faith that a loving relationship can work, or that two people can rise above and surmount any and all challenges, present ones, and especially ones that have long passed. Relationships without trust usually amount to nothing but a manipulative codependency. Hi, buddy boy. What you doing, guy? They're like Sir Walter Scott's tangled web, in that a couple of people don't want to be alone, so they settle for less than either party wants. But since no one's happy in the relationship, both parties wind up wishing they were alone. In the meantime, they secretly wish they could be with someone they truly love and who would welcome their love in return. But since trust is so hard to come by for these people, they settle for less than they want and then wonder why their love life is in shambles. Sound familiar? If you want to trust someone, especially in a new love relationship someday, trust that he or she will be just as humanly frail as you and make mistakes just like you do. But most important, trust that his or her intentions are inspired by love. To have this opportunity, this strength, you'll need to commit to the happy, hopeful uncertainty of the future from right here and what will become your past. This will help return you to your true and loving ideals and your body, mind, and soul to a true center. Now, they're not mentioning this here, but if you hook up with somebody new after you've broken up with the relationship that didn't work, yes, do all these things they're saying, but make sure it's a safe person you're doing it with, or you're going to find yourself in exactly the same thing you just left. If you need some experience with this kind of trust, practice it with strangers. Tell the next new acquaintance you speak with something about yourself that you normally would conceal, something that you genuinely feel ashamed of or dislike about yourself or are still embarrassed to confess. You're likely to be astonished to find that taking a chance on this kind of self-disclosure makes other people want to protect you in gratitude for your having exposed your vulnerability to them. Like they say, love makes the world go round. Now, again, I have to caution you, be careful who you tell something personal about yourself to, because if you happen to meet a narcissist and you tell them that, they can and will use it against you at a later date. So make sure the person you're being vulnerable with is somebody that you're pretty sure they're not going to go and use it later on you. Okay, because the book doesn't quite warn you about that, but I'm warning you about it because I know. Okay, water works. Among the many things that promote healing is water. The first thing we do with a wound is wash it. So whether with a cool drink or a soothing aromatherapy bath, we urge you to seek aquatic consolation whenever you can. Why is water so useful? It's not just a matter of it being the dominant chemical found in our bodies. It's not even that we're conceived and spend the first 9 months of our lives floating in a water-filled sack. It could well be even deeper than that, racial memories, if you will. We have a hunch that those who say we evolved from a simian species that lived by the seashore are right. We've kept too many vestigial remnants of our watery past for it to be coincidence. Our hairless bodies, the webs between our fingers and thumbs, the way we have intimacy face to face, the shapes of our downward pointing noses, and the way our lungs and breathing apparatus respond to immersion in water are all signs that we were designed to work well in the water. Okay, this is their idea. Another disclaimer. The views and opinions of this book are not necessarily mine or anybody else in this room, but they are kind of interesting to think about and consider, I guess. Perhaps that's why many psychologists remark on the sea being seen as a subconscious symbol of nurture and wholeness in dreams. A little bit too new agey there for me, but whatever. What to do? Because water is a special element for mankind, you can find comfort in using it in a number of ways. This comfort will help you to heal the wound of your loss. Here are some things you can do to use water to wash yourself emotionally clean. 1. Take solace in the shower. Do it at least daily, not only for the simple ritual of cleaning your skin and hair, but for the sensory indulgence of feeling it pour over your skin. Feel the temperature of the water on the back of your neck. That's where your body's thermostat is set. Let warm water pour over the spot at the base of the back of your neck, and you'll emerge feeling warm in the coldest weather. Or run cool water there and feel at ease when it's hotter than Phoenix. I always wondered why that felt so good to put the water down like right at the bottom of my neck. Now I know. It's where your body's thermostat is. We learned something today. Take a steam bath. Use the facilities at your local gym or health club, or get friends to invite you as a guest to theirs. It's a great way to cleanse your system of toxins. And then you can again enjoy the act of taking a shower to rinse off. Yeah, I never did that after I did the steam bath at like the YMCA. I never thought of taking a shower. It didn't even dawn on me. Oh, you're rinsing toxins out. Duh. I should have washed them away too. Oh well, live and learn. For a real treat, soak in a tub. Make the water as hot as you can take it, and then ease into a feeling of increasingly penetrating relaxation of every muscle that enrobes your body. If you can, use a hot tub for your soak. There's nothing more invigorating than the energetic swirling of the currents in these devices. It's a sensory treat without any need for spice. And even if you're supposed to be an adult and you're alone, why not use bubble bath or a nice scented oil to make the sensory indulgence of your experience even richer? Making me want to go take a bath. Look in the yellow pages and see if you can find a place that offers flotation tanks. These remarkable devices contain a shallow pool of skin temperature water that's been loaded with Epsom salts. The water is so heavy that your body will easily float with a low water line. If you can find a rental facility, you'll go in and spend an hour in the light, tight tank, floating in water that you soon lose track of as water. You will wind up feeling like you're floating in space or nowhere at all. It can be the most profoundly relaxing experience you've ever had in your life. Anybody ever do that? Epsom salt soaking tank thing? Okay, go for a swim. It's a great way to work out for both aerobic and developmental benefits, and you'll run little risk of overstressing any muscle group. This time when you swim, notice everything about how you breathe as you enter the water and how the water feels on your skin from first immersion to the time you return to the ground. I got one more thing to share, and then we'll talk in a minute. And finally, don't forget to drink at least 8 12-ounce glasses of water or beverages containing water a day. Good hydration will help you purify your system and stay well nourished. If you find yourself drinking fluids less often than this, have at least 1 16-ounce serving of some beverage once every 3 hours of the day. If you must, force yourself. Water is that important to your health and your feelings of well-being. I need to start drinking more water or more fluids for sure. Okay, Evelyn. Oh, gotcha, Hill. I'm sorry you're hurting. I get it. I'm just frankly not paying attention a whole lot to what's being said. And most of it, maybe not most of it, but I'd say out of 100%, maybe 75% is not exactly quite the way things are. So I just kind of, if I do listen, I listen and kind of giggle. It's like, yeah, okay, that happened. Sure, that's true. I mean, if you can laugh at it, it really helps not let it get to you. You know what's what. You know what's true. Just hold on to your truth. If you find yourself going back and listening to other stuff, just roll your eyes and say, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. You just got to get to that point so it doesn't bother you anymore. Because people are going to talk just how it is. People are people, and some people more than others will talk, and they will tell their own version of things. Anyhow, that's just how I'm handling it. I'm choosing to handle it that way. Like I was saying earlier, that narcissist lady that I listened to, the narcissist borderline lady, says, if you think you can outsmart somebody like that, you can't. They're always going to have the upper hand. They're always going to know how to push your buttons and pull your strings. And you just got to be strong enough to not listen, or if you do listen, to just let it roll off of you like a duck's back. How's your boy TJ? Teddy bear? He's somewhere here. I don't know. He was on earlier. Oh, he's sleeping. He's a snoozing. Hell, he's right there. Whoops. Hang on. That's the table. Here. I think that's him. Yeah. That's Teddy bear. Snoozing away. All right, there's 5 people here. Do you guys want to chat about anything I read today? That was day 8 and 9 right there combined. I'll put it in my title as soon as I'm done here. Yeah, Teddy bear. He's sleeping. He had good meals today. He was clawing me half to death earlier. Hang on, I think I can fix the title right now. I learned how to do this. Days 8 and 9. There we go. Oh, that's all right. No biggie. You can always rewind if you want. It was on perspective, and I think trust was the other one. Trust, yes. That's all. Yeah, I know. If I do listen, it's listen forward, listen forward, listen forward. I don't sit and dwell on it. And it's rare that I even listen to it anymore because I just don't flip and care. Because when I did used to listen, it was like there's so much not accurate about it. I want to defend myself, and now I just won't, because if I do, then it'll just get twisted, and then more stuff will be said, and I won't be able to defend myself again. So what's the point? There's no point in it. So I just move on with my room and what I believe in, and that's that. And playing with these kitties who are little rascals and got outside tonight in the cold darkness. We got them back in, but yeah. Stinker butts. Anyhow. So, anything you want to talk about, guys? I'll give it a minute here. If not, I will head off and probably go drink some water. Actually, there's some water right here. Sorry on your toe there, honey, if I crunched it. I need to remember to hydrate. I think hydration is important for brain function too. I'm not really sure, but I think so. Hydration and fat is probably important for your brain function. A lot of people on here that are acting the fool also are sleep deprived. That's a big thing that I've noticed over the years. And even back in the days when I was on other social media, that was the one thing my friends always told everybody, that nighttime is for sleeping, not for being online all night through the night. Go to sleep, wake up, and go online the next day, but don't be online all night. Get some sleep. If you're not getting some sleep, talk to a doctor. Get some kind of special lighting or some, I don't know, a sleep mask or apnea machine or whatever the heck you got to do. But you need to sleep, whoever you are out there. By the way, this is really good water. It's called Crystal Geyser. It's like one of my favorite waters, and I don't even know why. I don't know if it's maybe reverse osmosis or something. It comes from a spring near the Cherokee National Forest. No wonder. I love it. Delicious water. Is this the stuff we get at Big Lots? Do not refill. Make sure cap safely, ring is unbroken, and do not refill. Oh, I didn't know we couldn't refill it. Interesting. I know people do all the time anyway. But yeah, it's really good. Yummy. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to head off, guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back with chapter or day 10 soon, now that I found my book. So you guys have a great day, and shalom. I'll see you in Chubb's room if you're there later. Bye.